Ratio tab. In this tab, CVT turn ratio test is performed where the voltage is given to the CVT primary and measured from the secondary. By dividing the primary and secondary values, turn ratio is obtained and the obtained value can be compared with the nominal value on the plate. For medium and high voltage CVTs, it's possible to perform this test by applying a low voltage or approximately 400 volts to the primary. If there are multiple measuring and protection secondary, it's necessary to measure voltages of all secondaries and obtain all their turn ratios. According to the IEC standard, the allowed error percentage is set in accordance with the accuracy class of the CVT. The first column of this accuracy class table and the turn ratio error percentage accuracy column are also available. In the following table, the mentioned error percentages are for cases where the voltage is higher than 2% of the nominal voltage. In accordance with the table related to protection CVTs, for example, if the accuracy class is 3P, its allowed error percentage in 2% of the nominal voltage is 6% and in 100% of the nominal voltage is 3%. To perform this test, first fields of state setting sections are introduced. In VTest, V-actual, state time, and analog input fields the amount of test voltage, the actual applied voltage, the duration of the test, and the input intended for transformer secondary voltage measurement are specified respectively. It should be mentioned that inputs number 1 to 8 and input number 10 are used for voltage measurement. In noisy environments, there is some voltage on the inputs of the device, and to increase accuracy, by selecting at calibration state option, at the beginning of the test, another state with 0 as its value is created, and in the end, this measured voltage will be reduced from the final result. In turns ratio result, the results of turn ratio test of every core are displayed after performing the test. In V calculation field, the secondary voltage is calculated by the software in accordance with the value entered in test object and in V test field. In V measurement, ratio nominal and ratio act, the voltage measured by the input, the nominal turn ratio and the actual turn ratio are calculated by the software respectively. The intersection position of the cores is specified in insert mode in a way that by selecting all cores are added to the result table based on the selection between up or down. Also, by selecting a specific core is added to the table in accordance with the choice of the user. In phase section, in phase norm field, the amount of applied voltage to the CVT, and in phase act, the phase difference between the two sides of the transformer are displayed. Finally, the results of the evaluation are determined in accordance with the type of the core, which can be protection, measurement, or protection measurement, and also in accordance with what the user selects in assessment. The insertion position of the cores in the table is specified by selecting the options available in Insert Position. Tables can be added by selecting Insert Rows button. Performing the test and analyzing the results. To perform the test, as an example, 100 volts and 300 milliseconds are entered as the test voltage and state time respectively. The CVT is a protection type and only core 1 is going to be tested as an example. After pressing insert rows, since there are 3 cores, 9 rows are inserted, which are in accordance with the test voltage and the CVT turn ratio, 20 kilovolts over square root of 3, to 110 volts over square root of 3, the nominal turn ratio value, and the V calculations are 181.8 and 550 millivolts respectively. To perform the test, the voltage of group A is connected to CVT primary and the input 1 is connected to the CVT secondary to measure the voltage. To view the primary and secondary voltages during the test, signal view is used. In the end, the intended row is selected and after right-clicking on it, Apply Test is selected. After the test, it can be seen that the test results are recorded in the table, and since the angle fault and the turn ratio are within the range allowed in the standard, the test is passed. Other cores and phases are tested following the same procedure. After the test is finished, to add the results to the report, Add to Report option can be used. Also, by using this cog next to this option, you can remove the item that you do not wish to be added to the report before selecting Add to Report option. If for any reasons you wish to modify the wiring of the device, first you need to apply the test once and then check Don't Change Hardware Setting option and select a different output from Hardware Configuration window. And then set the output target at VL1E and turn the test after changing the wiring. To select other inputs, it should be noted that the selected binary input target must be in accordance with the default binary input target. For this, it is suggested to right-click on Input 1 row and cut the information and paste it in the intended row. Since it is possible that some users have also performed a Mega test for this equipment and they wish to have this result in a report, in Mega Test Report tab, they can select their intended row and column and by pressing Insert, created the required table, and after inserting the test results and selecting Add to Report, add the information to the output report. Other options, such as Delete Report, are used to delete information of this page from the report. Also, Export and Import options are used to export the information of this page as an output file and import it if necessary. If the user wishes to set the characteristics of the created row and the column as default for this section of the room, they can use Set as Default option.